What if I told you that the United States hides weapons so secret and extreme that if Donald Trump ever decided to activate them, the entire world would be erased in less than 1 second? Washington is not only the greatest military power on the planet, it is the only nation capable of shutting down entire cities with an electromagnetic pulse, of launching unstoppable hypersonic missiles, of unleashing nuclear hell from invisible submarines deep under the ocean, or even striking from space with secret aircraft that turn the galaxy into a battlefield. Today, on TechZNX, you are going to discover the 7 most disastrous weapons of the United States. Machines so extreme and futuristic that, if they are ever used, nothing will be left standing. So get ready, because what you are about to see will leave you shocked and maybe a little scared. Let's begin. Number 7. Champ. Not every bomb explodes with fire and destruction. Some, like the Champ project, are even more terrifying because they silently shut down an entire country. This experimental U.S. missile carries no explosives. Instead, it fires high-power microwave pulses capable of frying all electronic systems across a massive radius. Imagine a modern city. Traffic lights, hospitals, banks, power grids, communication satellites, military systems. Everything, absolutely everything goes dead in seconds. The scariest part? The attack is invisible. No blast, no smoke, no sound, only silence, while millions of people are cut off and entire armies are paralyzed as their radars, drones, and missiles simply stop working. Champ has already been tested successfully. A single launch disabled 7 electronic targets in one mission. Now, imagine that on a national scale. In the blink of an eye, a country could be thrown back into the Stone Age without firing a single bullet. The project is classified, but the little that is leaked is enough to freeze the blood. An invisible weapon that turns technology, humanity's greatest strength, into its greatest weakness. Number 6. Electromagnetic pulse bombs. They make no sound, raise no mushroom cloud, and leave no cities reduced to ashes. Their power is far more chilling. They shut down entire civilizations without firing a single bullet. EMP bombs are America's silent killer card. A single detonation high in the atmosphere releases an invisible wave capable of frying satellites, collapsing power grids, and rendering computers, radars, and defense systems useless. In seconds, an entire nation would be plunged into darkness. No communications, no transportation, no working hospitals. Imagine planes falling from the sky, banks offline, power plants out of control, and cities frozen, all because of one invisible wave moving faster than any human reaction. What makes EMP so terrifying is not immediate death like a conventional bomb. It kills by total societal collapse. A large-scale EMP strike would hurl any modern nation into a technological stone age. And in the 21st century, that means millions of lives at risk from lack of power, food, and basic services. And the worst part? These bombs can be mounted on ballistic missiles, high-altitude drones, or even satellites. In other words, the attack could come from anywhere on Earth, or from space itself. Simply put, EMP is the nightmare that proves you don't need nukes to destroy a country. You just need to switch it off. Number 5. The secret spaceplane X-37B. It looks like a miniature space shuttle, but in reality, it is the ghost of orbit. The X-37B is one of the most secretive projects of the United States, an unmanned spacecraft capable of staying in orbit for years without returning to Earth. The disturbing part is not its silent flight over any country. The terrifying part is that nobody knows what it really carries. Some believe it tests space weapons, launches military satellites, intercepts enemy systems, or even drops kinetic bombs from orbit. Imagine metal rods falling from hundreds of kilometers above at hypersonic speeds. They don't explode, but the impact unleashes energy like a meteor strike. One shot could erase an entire city without a nuclear warhead. The X-37B turns outer space into an invisible battlefield. It can patrol silently for over 1,000 days, appear over any country, and execute an attack that no defense could stop. And uncertainty is its greatest weapon. While nukes and EMPs are at least understood, the X-37B is pure mystery. Russia and China have spent years trying to decode it. But until today, it remains the most unpredictable piece in the American arsenal. This is not just an aircraft. It is proof that the next war will not only be fought on land, sea, or air, but also in space. And the United States already has its first orbital predator ready to strike. Number 4. The B-21 Raider stealth bomber. This is not an airplane. It is the black ghost of the 21st century. The B-21 Raider is the most advanced strategic bomber ever built, designed to pierce any air defense in the world and deliver a devastating strike without being seen. Its flying wing silhouette, completely black and radar invisible, makes it a phantom in the sky. But what it carries inside is even more terrifying. Hypersonic missiles, smart bombs, even thermonuclear warheads, an arsenal powerful enough to erase entire cities in one strike. The Raider is not just a bomber. It is a command center in the air. It coordinates with autonomous drones, adapts to missions mid-flight, and even charts new routes using artificial intelligence. It can take off from U.S. soil, cross continents, and destroy targets on the other side of the world without needing to refuel. Its silence is what makes it horrifying. The first sign of its presence over enemy territory would be the nuclear blast itself. The B-21 Raider is more than a machine. It is a clear message. While this shadow flies, nowhere on Earth is safe. Number 3. SR-72, son of Blackbird. If the legendary SR-71 Blackbird already looked like it came from the future, its successor is straight up a hypersonic monster designed for the impossible. The SR-72 is not just a spy plane. It is a predator of the skies, capable of speeds beyond Mach 6, more than 7,500 kilometers per hour. To put it simply, it could take off from America's East Coast, cross the Atlantic, and reach Europe in under 1 hour. At that speed, no air defense, no interceptor missile has the slightest chance. By the time it appears on radar, it is already gone. But this giant does more than watch. It can carry hypersonic missiles to destroy strategic targets with surgical precision. In other words, it sees everything and can kill instantly. Its secret lies in combined cycle engines. At low speeds, they work like jet turbines, but when it accelerates, they transform into scramjets, practically turning the aircraft into a rocket. It is like having a fighter jet and a missile fused into one. The message is brutal. The United States is not satisfied with stealth. It wants absolute speed. If nothing can catch it, nothing can stop it. The SR-72 proves that the future of aerial war will not be just about invisibility, but about hypersonic domination. When this ghost crosses the skies, there will be no defense possible. Number 2. The B-83 thermonuclear bomb. If there is one weapon that embodies the concept of total destruction, it is the B-83. This beast is the most powerful nuclear bomb still active in the American arsenal, and its existence alone is a reminder of how fragile civilization really is. Its maximum yield, 1,200 kilotons of TNT. For comparison, the Hiroshima bomb in 1945 was just 15 kilotons. That means one single B-83 equals 80 Hiroshimas exploding at once. It can be dropped from bombers like the B-52 Stratofortress or the stealthy B-2 Spirit, giving it global reach. No place on Earth is safe from its blast radius. And the terror is doubled. First, the initial explosion wiping out everything, then the radioactive cloud poisoning land and air for decades. It is not just a weapon, it is a long-term death sentence for all life around it. The B-83 is not a prototype. It is real, ready, and waiting. If America ever unleashes it, there will be no turning back. This is not just a bomb. It is the physical embodiment of the apocalypse. Number 1. Rods from God. Forget bombs, missiles, or nukes. Imagine instead a weapon that does not need gunpowder or enriched uranium, because its power comes from Earth's own gravity. That is the concept behind the rods from God, a secret U.S. project many believe is the most devastating weapon ever conceived. The idea: massive tungsten rods, each over 10 meters long and weighing nearly a ton, stored in orbital satellites. At the signal, one is released, falling from space at hypersonic speed, hitting over 11,000 kilometers per hour. The impact is equivalent to multiple tons of TNT. In plain words, it is like launching an artificial meteorite at any spot on Earth, with no defense possible. No radar, no anti-missile shield can intercept a vertical strike from orbit. The damage is unthinkable. A single rod could obliterate an entire military complex, smash deep bunkers, or sink an aircraft carrier in seconds. And with satellite targeting, it can strike with surgical precision. The most chilling part? Strategic silence. No radiation, no fallout, no warning. Nothing until the projectile is seconds from impact. A real sword of Damocles hanging over the entire world. The rods from God embody ultimate technological supremacy, an orbital weapon turning space into the final battlefield. If America ever makes it operational, the phrase "end of the world" would stop being a metaphor and become reality.